What's going on, everybody? Proud to announce the Spotlight Sports Network are partnered with SeatGeek. Save $20 off your first order for live events, concerts, and sporting events, and more. All you have to do is just insert the promo code Spotlight Sports Network to save today. Again, that's Spotlight Sports Network and save $20. Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? It is me, it's King. We're back. We're in the building with another Coffee and Sports Morning Show. Got my guy AJ in the building. What's going on, AJ?
How you doing, Keith?
I'm good. I'm sure we're gonna have some others pop in sooner or later. I know comments coming on too. So we're gonna talk about a little bit about the NFL, NBA today. But how's your morning going so far?
It's going pretty good. Good, and yours?
I can't complain. I can't complain. I'm waiting for this day to be over already. But anyway, let's get into things here. I know some nothing really big is broke so far. Let me just check to make sure nothing crazy is going on in the world, in the sports world right now. Just really baseball. Yankees clinched. Some other people clinched. But more so, week four is coming up. Week four, I can't believe it's week four already. AFC week winners. AFC of the week was Trevor Lawrence for the AFC side. I mean, Trevor Lawrence had a good game. So I can see Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. It was Henderson on defense, and on special teams, it was the punter from Denver. I mean, nothing else was special about Denver but the punter because
Yes.
he got paid for his job. And on the AFC on NFC side, it is Cordell Patterson. Patterson had a great game himself
Yeah.
for the Falcons, and then you had Brandon Graham of the Eagles, and then you had another punter for Green Bay for the special team. So three Eagles 3 weeks in a row. That's on in this players of the week on this list. So anything wrong with Trevor Lawrence? I mean, some people say maybe Tua could have got it.
No, I think when you go into Los Angeles and you beat the Chargers the way you did, 38-10, it makes it very easy to see that he was obviously the offensive player of the week. So I have no problem with Trevor Lawrence. I have no problem with any of these selections. I love what Cordell Patterson did um, in Atlanta. It is so fascinating to see his career and how it's kind of turned around. It seemed
Right.
like he was a fledgling, receiver in Minnesota, and then he goes to New England, and they decide to put him in the backfield, and we
Mm-hmm.
see his ability to run the ball. He comes to Chicago and is doing the same thing here, and now he's in Atlanta, where he is now the actual starting running back, and so
Right.
it's amazing to see how his career has changed, making that move to the running back position.
I mean, it's not all bad to change positions. I mean, if you're not good at one, do the other. Look at, I mean, Taysom Hill is a prime example. Taysom Hill is a Swift Army knife. He does it all. He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's a tight end. He's right
Yeah,
now. He's at tight end. So somebody was like, "Well, if Jameis was to get hurt, would he be the backup?" I was like, "I don't know."
yeah, but they have Andy Dalton down there, so I think they
That's
would go with
right. That's
Andy
right.
Dalton.
So no, Andy. So he
Andy
will not
Dalton,
be the backup. It will be Andy Dalton. You are right. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
I forgot. I'm like, who is his backup? But Jameis did practice. Speaking of Jameis, he did practice. I know he has 4 fractures in his back. That's just crazy how he's playing with those fractures in his back. Me personally, I wouldn't want to risk any more damage and things. But Coming into the season, we all know you got the sophomores, you got Trey Lance, you got Trevor Lawrence, you got Jones, you got Mills and Fields. Now, if you was to rate those quarterbacks right now, where would you rank them as of right now? So you got Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, even Fields. We know can't really evaluate Trey Lance because unfortunately he got hurt, and the same thing with
Yeah,
Zach Wilson. They are hurt right now, so you really can't evaluate them. So that's why I feel Lawrence, Jones, Mills, and even Justin Fields in there. And you're a Chicago guy, so
yeah. So I think as you can see right now, I think Trevor Lawrence has to be one,
mhm.
especially now. Now having Doug Peterson down there showing them the ropes of the quarterback position and the way he's played these first three games, so I think you could say that he's vaulted up to one. I would put Mac Jones probably two. Um, he had a great rookie year, and he was starting off being okay this year, but he now has a sprained ankle, so he's going to miss probably 4 or 5 games there. But I'll still put him two. Um, and I'm going to go Davis Mills three because at least at the very instant Davis Mills has made plays. He his thing seems to be the fourth quarter where he that's when he gets in trouble and he makes his biggest mistakes. But otherwise, the first 3 quarters he's okay, and he's a second year player, and he might get better, and we'll see what happens with that. And four would be Fields. I am a Chicago guy, Chicago Bears fan, and I listen to the Chicago radio all the time, and everybody is just wondering like what is going on here. We just why is Fields playing this way? And you can see it with clips that people put on Twitter and things like that. He is making the wrong reads. He is not doing what he needs to do in the pocket. It is almost a 1, 2, 3. We just gonna go ahead and run. And that's what it seems to be. And there's a play on his first interception. They did some misdirection where they had Mooney coming up and running up running in motion, and he went backwards and went behind. So he was out there in the flat. He was open. Equanimous St. Brown was on the left, and he had broken free, and he was wide open. But Fields decides to throw it to Komet over the middle, and he was throwing to a spot, not trying to throw it to Komet, and he got picked off. And people are just like, why don't you see that? So there's a lot of stuff going on. He admitted that he played like trash. He said that Sunday in the post game scrum. So at least he knows that, and maybe we'll see if he gets better. He is still young. He's only played, I think, 17 games over these past 2 years. So we'll have to wait and see. But he would be fourth. And like you said, Wilson is injured. And we have Lance, who is also injured. He's out for the year. Wilson will come back in the next couple of weeks, so we can maybe see what he is doing. But those right now maybe like incompletes, so to speak.
So do you think the Bears are not saying failing Justin Fields, but you think they could you provide a little bit more, better with him, his development, give him some playmakers around?
Yeah, that seems to be the prevailing thought with all of the Bears fans, right? You know, you have to balance, what you want to see. I think a lot of Bears fans would like to see the Bears let Justin Fields throw it 30, 35 times. And if he throws 6 interceptions, fine. He throws 6 interceptions. But we want to see him progress, and we want to see him try to get better, make the mistakes so he learns from them. But the coaching staff wants to win. So what's the best way to win? They're running the ball great. So we're just gonna run the ball, and we're gonna keep his throws to a minimum. And they are throwing the ball like, um, I think in this past game they dropped back 28 times, 28 dropbacks. So then from sacks and him going off and running, it was like 11 times. So it turned out he only had like 17 attempts. So some of it is on him. some of his on the offensive line. And yes, he doesn't have all of the best. Mooney is a pretty good receiver, I think. He's not just not getting the ball right now. Equinemius St. Brown, I think, is a talented guy, and I think he's okay. Not sure about the other guys. Velus Jones, the rookie, he's been injured, dealing with some injuries, so he hasn't got on the field yet. And Cole Kmet, who was good in Notre Dame, not good, he was great at Notre Dame. He has not shown what the talent that he showed at Notre Dame here in Chicago. So, and he first got his first two catches this past Sunday. So it's kind of a tricky thing there. I think that it could be everything. It could be everything. Yeah, he doesn't have the offensive line. He doesn't have as good as weapons, but also Justin Fields is not also playing to the level that we would expect him to show that he is growing. So
Yeah, especially Cole Komet. I know he's on his his last leg of the contract and see if he gets to stay or he gets to go. But no excuses for the Bears next year with all that money that y'all gonna have available to go get the needs, not just because they're big names and we need them. Y'all need definitely go out there and fill in them holes.
yeah. There is, like, I think I heard the other day, it is like 133 million cap space they're gonna have
Mm-hmm.
next year, and they're gonna have their full complement of draft picks, all 7 picks. And so yeah, it is no excuse. They're going to need to try to find some receivers, whether in the draft or in free agency, some offensive linemen as well. David Montgomery is on last his last year of his rookie deal, with Khalil Herbert back there. You know, you don't have to pay David Montgomery, as he's a nice, talented running back, but he's not the type of running back that you, at least in my opinion, you would give money to. So you let him walk. You got Khalil Herbert. Maybe you get it. Maybe you draft another running back. Maybe you get somebody in free agency. Saquon Barkley could be out there. Who knows? Who knows if the Giants want him or not? So there's a lot of things that you can do. But yeah, get a ton of money. This year it's supposed to be a developmental year, but next year is a thing. And let's not forget that this is also a new regime with Matt Poles, or Ryan Poles, excuse me, the GM, and Matt Eberflus, who's the coach. Justin Fields is not their guy. So, you know, they could say, hey, you know, Justin Fields was nice, but we want our guy.
Right.
So that could happen as well.
Most definitely. I agree. The Bears do need to help out Justin Fields, especially on the offensive line, defensive, give him some players, playmakers, definitely see what Justin Fields can do. Because we all saw what he can do when he was in college. He definitely was a baller. So, you see his flashes. You just got to give him some pieces. So week 4, we got Lamar Jackson up against Buffalo, and then you got Patrick Mahomes up against Tom Brady. So out of the 4 QBs, um, which one needs to beat his star counterpart?
Wow. I would say it was Lamar Jackson needs to beat Buffalo, because I think we know we're looking at Tom Brady, one of the all-time greats. We got Patrick Mahomes, probably the most explosive quarterback, maybe. Him and Josh Allen are probably in that battle. And then we do have Josh Allen on the Bills, who I think many people are predicting to be the MVP of the year. At least that's what they predicted in the preseason. Might have changed now, but we've seen what Jalen Hurts has done, and Tua Tagovailoa, and Lamar Jackson. And like I mentioned on the Monday show, I was okay with Lamar Jackson not getting paid by the Ravens. I was okay with them saying, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do. Because after his MVP season, you had to admit that he did regress some. He did regress some, and he also became a little bit injury prone. So we needed to see if he can stay healthy, and if he could be, the quarterback that you want to pay that money to. Now, with that being said, he's played fantastic, and I don't want to take it away from him, but he still is running the ball a little too much for my taste. And I know some people. I watch a lot of the morning shows, and a lot of them want to say, Lamar Jackson is changing the game. He's stepping away from traditional quarterback play, and you should be open to that. And while I understand that, I also think that if you're going to win, the quarterback needs to play from the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be able to sit back there, go through his progressions, find the receiver, and make the right read. The legs of a running back should be, in speaking in baseball terms, should be the changeup to the fastball or his arm. That's what it should be. You should know that should be what you do on the side. And if you've seen that where okay, he goes, everybody's covered, then he runs. That would be good. But Lamar Jackson, kind of like Justin Fields, it is almost a thing of one is your main read open? No, okay, I'm just gonna go. And I think there's still a little bit to that. I still personally would like to see him like stay in the pocket and just do what all these other three quarterbacks we're talking about. What they do. They go 25 of 33, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I would like to see that from Lamar Jackson. I really would.
Well, definitely. Well, we all know the Baltimore Ravens has never been like a pass happy team.
Yep, they
Even
never have.
even back when Jamal Lewis back there was running the Ray Lewis era, they never was a passing team. I mean, they got Rashad Bateman. He's an up and coming receiver. They had Hollywood Brown. He would drop more balls than he can catch. So it's a running team. So that's why they have so many running backs to use. And Lamar, he's just freakishly athletic where he can run. But yeah, we can definitely see he can throw the ball, so that's definitely not an issue. But I do understand, him trying to be this pocket guy. I mean, Lamar's not meant to stay in the pocket, but it is a problem when you have more rushing yards than your running back. I always said that. Just one pop,
Yeah.
that's all it takes, and it is, a serious injury. Definitely you wouldn't have your quarterback no more. So I definitely understand it there. If I'm going to say out there
Same
too,
thing with Josh Allen. Same thing with Josh Allen.
mhm,
He runs the ball a lot too. Now he does do most of his damage from the pocket. So I think it's different. And also Josh Allen is 6'5", 230, 240, whatever it is. And we're talking about Lamar Jackson, who's 6'1", 215, maybe. I don't know. So there's a lot of things going on there, but I totally agree. You want to see the quarterback be a quarterback and not necessarily be a running back.
we got Coach Dante. He's always in the building. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing this morning?
We good. We
Good,
good.
good. How you doing?
So one of the
Hey,
questions was, how would you rank the sophomore QBs? We got Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, and Justin Fields. Can't really say too much about Zach Wilson and Trey Lance because they all are hurt right now. So if you had to go 1 through 4, where you put these QBs at?
so who the QBs again? Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence, Mac Jones, Davis Mills, and Justin Fields.
I'm gonna go for as of right now. I'm gonna go Trevor Lawrence, Matt Jones, Davis Mills, and Justin Fields.
Yeah,
Now I think Justin
y'all both got the
Fields.
same order.
I think I think Justin Fields got a higher upside than Davis Mills though. I think he has a higher ceiling than he does. But Davis Mills has not been playing great at all. He's not been playing great football at all. He's
Oh,
been playing terrible.
Oh.
So that's the ranking I got.
All right. So we said it's Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady. Which of these QBs need to beat their star counterpart? So is it Lamar Jackson that needs to beat Josh Allen, or is it Patrick Mahomes that needs to beat Tom Brady?
I think he needs Josh Allen. Josh Allen is peaked to be that next very good quarterback to compete with Patrick Mahomes in the AFC. Right now, it's looking like it's have a continue to have a big year this year to prove that he deserves to be up there with Josh Allen.
I'm gonna say Mahomes. Because you all know Mahomes is going up against Tom Brady. Tom Brady had his number, and then Mahomes lost to him again. I'm gonna definitely say Mahomes definitely wants to beat Tom Brady because we all know once Patrick not Patrick once Tom Brady leaves, Aaron Rodgers go, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be those top guys. So I'm gonna definitely say Patrick Mahomes wants to beat Tom Brady, um, knowing how everything went, and I think Coach is frozen, so we are just going to let him come situate his or is he back? You back, Dante?
I should be. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. He was muted there. So you're going Lamar Jackson? You said Lamar Jackson to beat Josh Allen?
Yeah, well, yeah, I did. Uh, that's what I felt. I felt like because it's like we were talking about. I just see um, Lamar Jackson um, out of these four as the one that needs to beat his counterpart because I think he's the one that still needs to kind of prove that he's worthy of the contract that he is reportedly looking for. So, and I think with Josh Allen getting his, Patrick Mahomes getting his, and of course Brady being Brady, that's the one who needs it.
All right, and so of course, we all know that the Cowboys are starting to pick up steam, definitely with Cooper Rush winning now 2 games in a row. With that being said, you know how Cowboys Nation is, and you know how they are. Oh, we got this win. We still have a chance. So, are the Cowboys a real chance, a threat to the Eagles in the NFC East?
Probably not, um, but it is very early, only 3 games, so we don't know necessarily what's going to happen later on, what injuries are going to happen for the Eagles. But for me, I see the Eagles right now as Jalen Hurts playing very well at the quarterback position. The defense being absolutely incredible. They gave up 35 points to the Lions in the first game. Last 2 games, they've given up 15 points against the Vikings and the Commanders. So I think their defense is playing very, very well. Dallas, give them credit. Their defense is doing good as well. We know their pass rush with Michael Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence, I believe, is something to behold as well. Um, and they're playing efficient football with Cooper Rush in for Dak Prescott. But I think when it comes down to it, I think the Cowboys just doesn't have as much talent as the Eagles do right now. I think the Eagles are very talented. Now, the Eagles are going to lose some games because that's just what happens in the NFL. But
Right.
they're not going to go 17-0, although they might watch the end up going 17-0. But I don't think they are. But I still think they're the best team in the NFC East. So, but the Cowboys are still they're still a good team, and they still have a chance to make the playoffs, which is all you want. Just get into the tournament. Anything can happen.
Dante, what you think?
First of all, I think the one problem with the Eagles, they can't score in the second half, and that's going to be their Achilles heel against some team. It just depends on the team who they play. I think Dallas can give them a run for their money, but I got Dallas as a wild card team at this moment. I got Dallas. I think they can make it in during the wild card. I don't think they're going to win the NFC East, but if I have to say Dallas could beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to go with that. But because again, I believe their defense is much improved. Cooper Rush has a lot of chemistry with those receivers. You can tell by both games. He has built some momentum with those guys, but to say that they're going to win the NFC East, I'm not going to say that yet. But the Eagles do got to watch out because the Eagles, they seem to take their foot off the gas a lot in the second half. They have these big first halves, but can't score in the second half. So that can hurt you against some good teams, and especially in the playoffs if you can't put up any points in the second half. And I believe Dallas' good defense is good enough to hold that, counterpart and to make that an ugly football game. But right now, I think the Eagles are going to win. I got Dallas as a wild card team at this moment. I got Dallas. I think they can make it in during the wild card. I don't think they're going to win the NFC East, but if I have to say Dallas could beat the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah,
I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC right now. I know regardless of who they played. I mean, you can't make the schedule. You just play what they put in front of you. So I think the Eagles are the best team. I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC as of right now. As a start today, coming in today, this morning, I think the Eagles are the best team in the NFC and in the NFC East. But it is a concern. They got to start putting up points in the second half and finishing off games how they started.
I definitely agree with that. Me being an Eagles fan, definitely we gotta score in the second half, because those are the times when you're down. I know last year we were that second half team that came back. Um, Going into week 4. So I feel like if it ain't fixed or cleaned up by week 4, then it's definitely going to be an issue in the long run. You can't just score all your points in the first half and then be all conservative and how other teams could possibly come back off that. Then what are you going to do? You're not scoring in the second half. You're going to lose games. Of course, we're going to lose games. We're not going to go undefeated the whole way. Of course, we're going to lose games and things of that nature. But that's definitely a concern a little bit for me. You can't score in the second half. Do y'all have any upset picks for week 4?
Well, I was just looking at the schedule earlier, and I think the Raiders Broncos game is very interesting because I think right now the Broncos are the favorite. I didn't look at the line, but I would assume they are the favorite, and that's going to be the game I think that makes or breaks the Raiders season because great work by Dan Orlovsky on NFL Live yesterday. He showed what was going on with Derek Carr, and we talked about it on Monday. Maybe he was forcing it to Devontae Adams when actually he was showing that he was actually not doing that. He's actually not trying to force it to Devontae Adams. He showed 3 plays where Devontae Adams was open and he could have threw it to him, but he checked it down because because he didn't want to like he was playing favorites. But you can't do that if Devontae Adams is open.
You guys throw the ball.
The ball. He's the best receiver on the squad. So, and he said there was like 6 other plays as well. So there was a the Raiders have to win this game. So, and with the Broncos struggling offensively, although like many people have also said that last drive where the Broncos scored the touchdown on, it looked like they were getting things rolling. So I think that's going to be a big issue for the Raiders is if the Broncos have their offense going, can they keep up with them? So, but I would be looking for that as an upset if the Raiders can beat the Broncos.
Dante, any upsets this week? You got an upset pick you think might be a game?
Yeah, if I'm gonna have to go with any upset, it'll be my Texans versus the Chargers because the Chargers are pretty banged up. If it'll be an upset, it'll be my Texans versus the Chargers. They're pretty banged up, but again, like I say, I'm not a big fan of making excuses. I know a lot of people say Justin Herbert is banged up, but again, he's out there playing football. If you're out, it's a difference between when you're injured and when you're hurt. When you're hurt, you don't go out there and play. When you're injured, then you still can play. So in that, my consideration, like I said last night, he's only injured. He's not hurt. He's only injured. So again, if you're good enough to go, then you're good enough to go. You're good enough to go. So that's the only. Keenan Allen have some injury issues right now. So like that's the only upset I can consider. And like he said, the Broncos versus Raiders. If the Raiders lose this game right here, and both offenses is incompetent right now. So if the Raiders consider losing this game, I don't think the Raiders will make the playoffs at all. I don't see how they make the playoffs this year. Right, really, it's still going to be tough for them to make the playoffs, even if they win. If they win Sunday, I think it still will be tough for them to make the playoffs. But both of the offenses not off to a good start. But the problem is Denver defense is really, really good. If you looked at that defense, they're really, really stout on the defensive side of the ball. With Bradley Chubb, with Pat Surtain, with the secondary. So they can't score, but they can probably do enough to hold the Raiders down into that offense, and Russell Wilson start back making plays. And if that offense can start back making plays with Cortland Sutton being that number one wide receiver and Jerry Judy taking that top off the defense, and Russell Wilson playmaking ability, if that offense can find a way to get going, it may be a long day for the Las Vegas Raiders the way that Broncos defense is playing.
All right. So with the Raiders and that Denver game, who has to be the X factor for this Raiders team to win?
Oh, it's got to be Derek Carr. It got to be Derek Carr. I just talked about it. He's not trying to force the ball into Devontae Adams, but he needs to make plays, and he's got to start. Got to start with him. And then if he can get going and get the ball to Devontae Adams when he is open, then that's going to open up Darren Waller. It's going to open up Hunter Renfrow. It's going to open up the run game for Josh Jacobs. So it's definitely Derek Carr. He's got to be the main guy. He's got to play like he's probably never played before.
I'll tell you, does Carr got to be the X factor?
Yep, I definitely 1000% agree. I mean, like I say, you've been this leader for 9 years. You've been in here for 9 years, and only one playoff appearance. Only been one playoff appearance to your name, and especially being the upper lunch of a top 10 quarterback in this league. You have to stop the bleeding when your team is down. You are the leader of the team. So whatever this team whatever you goes, this where this team is going to go. This where this offense is going to go. So he has to be the leader and step up and make plays. And like you said, he got to get the ball to Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams was just considered the best wide receiver in the NFL. Right now, that looks like Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver in the NFL. And you can see frustration boiling over Devontae Adams' face. Derek Carr got to stop the bleeding. He's got to be the one to stop the bleeding. I know everybody, all the Raider Nation is divided, but at the same time, that's when you've been in the league in your same organization for 9 years. When you've been to one playoff appearance, you're going to get questioned because you're the leader of this offense and you're the engine to make this offense go. So a lot of the blame is going to go on the quarterback, and it should be. This offense is not right. I know the play calling is questionable. I know they haven't ran the ball much, but when you are designed to throw the ball, you still got to make the plays regardless if the play calling is right or not, if people agree with it. You still got to be the quarterback and make the right reads and make those throws. And right now, he ain't doing that. Completing 51% of his passes. Over 60% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's not going to get the job done. It's not going to get the job done. He's got to stop the bleeding when his team needs him to do it. That's just what it is. That's just reality of it.
And again, you said it last night on the 7200 podcast. Dante said he not picking the Raiders no more. Because the 3 weeks in a row they burned them.
3 weeks in a row, I didn't pick them and they lost.
For me, for Denver, I'm going to put it on Nathaniel Hackett to call a game. We all know what Russell Wilson can do. We all know the type of players that Russell Wilson has around him. I'm going to say Nathaniel Hackett has to be this X factor here, calling a game. We can't say Hackett's bad. He's never coached before. He's been a positional coach, so he's never had a head coaching job in nowhere. So yeah, he's a real rookie at it when you got to have an advisor come in and kind of help him out. But we all know what Russell Wilson can do. I'm going to need Melvin Gordon and Williams to stop fumbling with their fumbleitis because they cost me some money too. So have the Raiders. I'm going to need both of them to get the acts together. But no, it's definitely on Nathaniel Hackett. He has to find a way of calling a good game. We can't have no more 10, 11 games like that game was Sunday night because that was just brutal to watch on both parts. About that. So yeah, if I'm going to have to say an X factor, it's definitely got to be the coaching for Denver. Because again, Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. We all know what Russell Wilson can do. And I think that offense will wake up. Another game that I had possibly, I don't know if you would call it an upset, but I like the trade over Seattle.
Detroit over Seattle, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that an upset because I think Detroit's the better team. I think they've lost to the Eagles, who was probably the best team in the NFC right now, and They had a letdown where they let the Vikings come back. It was 24-14, and they let the Vikings come back 14 points to win. They didn't execute on 4th and 1. And I always say this: if you can get 1 yard, you don't deserve to win, and they did not win. So, but I think the Lions are a better team than the Seahawks. It would be an upset if the Seahawks beat the Lions, in my opinion. So, especially because I believe the Lions are at home. Um, they might be on the road. Who knows? But no matter what, no matter where they're at, whether it's Detroit or Seattle, the Lions should beat the Seahawks. It should beat them pretty handily. In fact.
Alrighty. Anything to say to that one, Dante?
No, he said it all. I think the Lions are a better football team. I just think the Lions are a better football team. They're improved. They were the best 3-13 team, 3-14 team last year. A lot of competitive games, and people want to play for Dan Campbell. They're out there playing for Dan Campbell hard. You saw that last year. You saw him crying in the press, and I never seen a coach like that kind of cry in the press because the guys are competing for him and playing for him so hard and giving it 1,000%. And when you got guys like that that's going to fight for their head coach, that's going to go out there and rock with them, hey, that's motivation right there. So I think the Lions are going to be way better than what they were last year. And I wouldn't say it's an upset. I think these people on the even playing field, but I think the Lions are better, or just a better overall football team.
Even without the DeAndre Swift, I still think Jamal Williams can definitely help that offensive side to the ball. Even with Swift being out, they still are going to be good, and I can definitely see them pressuring Geno Smith. Definitely see Aiden Hutchinson getting some sacks in this game here. All right, so we're going to switch it over to the NBA for a little bit. Again, we got to go back to Chicago. Ada, are you a Bulls fan as well?
Yes, absolutely. Bulls fan, Bears fan, Cubs fan.
Oh, damn. You beat the... I'll take no
last night, Key. Want to talk about that game last night?
2-1. Yeah. Y'all really don't need to be in the playoffs the way they play. But anyway, already swept us at home. Now, we got Wrigley. Okay. Anyway, so Lonzo Ball, he may be out again. He's saying that he's never felt this type of pain before. It's something different where he still can't walk and jump right. You think is this a concern for the Bulls? Will Lonzo still be here long term, or what's going to happen with Lonzo? I'll let you start, AJ, since this is your team here.
Yeah, this is a huge concern for the Bulls because Lonzo Ball is the guy that pushes the tempo. He is the guy that he's their best 3-point shooter. This is the starting point guard. This is the guy who leads the offense. When he was around, the Bulls were playing very well last year, even to the point to where they were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, which was surprising. And then when he went down and Caruso went down, the Bulls went down. Caruso is going to be back, but now you're not without Lonzo, and it's going to be hard for them. I know they signed Goran Dragic in the offseason, and they have Io DeSumo there as well. He'll be a second-year guy, but it's so hurting of the Bulls because they already are like we just don't know. We don't know if DeMar DeRozan is going to have the same year that he had last year, where he was doing stuff that Wilt and Michael did. It's just insane. Zach LaVine's got his contract, but this could be one of those things where you had to pay him because you didn't want to lose his star power, but now he has to step up, right? He has to step up and he has to take his game to the next level. He's an all-star. Can he become a superstar? That's good. Nikola Vucevic, he needs to be the third guy. He needs to be the guy that you can count on for a consistent, 18, 19 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, and definitely got to be more consistent from the three. If you're going to not be a dominant force down low as a center and maybe even as a power forward, then be something where you're a stretch four, stretch five. So he needs to hit that three consistently. And with all that being said, it still may not matter because Lonzo Ball proved that he was the point guard the Bulls needed to push the tempo, to make the right pass, to handle the ball because DeMar and Zach handling the ball can sometimes be, yeah, you just don't want them doing that all the time. And we don't know if Ayo Dosunmu can be that point guard. And Goran Dragic is 38, 39 years old, I believe. So he's on his last legs, and he's been playing overseas with Luka Doncic. So how is his legs going to be at the beginning of the season and in the middle of the season, and of course when you're heading down the stretch. So this is a total concern for the Chicago Bulls because if because in a big picture thing, if this doesn't work out for Lonzo and he ends up having to not play this entire season, then this may go down as one of the worst signings ever. And it's not because he didn't play well. It's just because he's now got this injury where, like you said, he can't walk upstairs.
Yeah.
That is scary to hear, that your knee hurts so bad you can't even walk upstairs. Wow.
Dante, what you think about this?
I think this is going to hurt the Bulls in the long run. Like when it gets to the playoff portion of things, play-in part, say if they can compete for a play-in tournament or playoffs. I think that's when it can come back to hurt them. And if you realize something about Lonzo Ball, he changed his shooting form a lot. And so that's why he's able to shoot 42%, 40% from the three-point line. He's very much improved, double digits scoring. I know last year in the game in Houston, he was killing us with that three-point jump shot, making it consistently instead of being over there with the Lakers. He wasn't making it at all. But he definitely worked on his jump shot. He definitely changed the form of it to help him out. But this is something that's gonna get to with the Bulls in the long run. I think it will hurt them in the long run. I think the Bulls are good enough to make a playoff spot, make the playoffs, make the actual playoffs, because you got the two superstars, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. I believe that they will be good enough to get you there. But will they get you up out of the first round? I don't think they would be good enough to get you out of the first round unless you give a favorite matchup again. So Ayo Zuma, really, I got a really high upside up on him. But at the long run, they're going to need Lonzo Ball if they want to go somewhere. He's a leader. Again, he changed his jump shot so he could shoot. He's a very good defender. So this is going to hurt the Bulls in the long run, but they will be in the playoff hunt because they have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. But you don't want to keep a lot of pressure on them because also Zach LaVine has a history of not being on the floor too. He has a history of getting hurt too. So when you're left with DeMar DeRozan, and that could come into play. Vuka needs to step up even more. He's got to hit that outside shot even more. He's got to hit them pick and pops. He's got Andre Drummond now, so it's gonna make him play his regular position. But I believe Andre Drummond won't be starting. So you got Patrick Williams right there. So they're gonna be kind of small inside. But again, I think they will be good enough to make the playoffs. But I don't think they will be advancing deep in the postseason without Alonzo Ball. I think Alonzo Ball give them a better opportunity to make it past the first round of the playoffs with him on the floor. But as of right now, I think the Bulls are a playoff team as of right now. I just don't think they will go too far without Lonzo Ball.
And you just mentioned it, and I should have mentioned it as well. On defense, he was great. Zach LaVine isn't that great defensively. He tries, so we give him that. He tries, but he's still not that great. If he can improve defensively this year, that would be wonderful. And DeMar DeRozan isn't that great of a defender as well. So then you're talking about Patrick Williams and Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso as your main best defenders. And like you said, they brought in Andre Drummond to be Vooch is back up. He can defend. Hopefully, he still has it from his days in Detroit. So that was the big part of what happened to the Bulls last year. When Caruso went out and Ball went out, their defense stopped, and there was games where there was like it was just incredible. It was like 140, 130 or something like that. It just and you just wondering, well, it's because their defense is gone without Lonzo there. And Lonzo's 6'7". He just have point guard, defend point guard, he can defend the shooting guard, he can defend some small forwards as well. And one of the things I wanted to see the Bulls do this offseason was to get somebody else who could score. To me, the trade that is going to go under the radar is Dallas getting Christian Wood from the Rockets. That is going to go. Under the radar. He's going to be perfect for Luka Doncic down there in Dallas. And I wanted the Bulls to go after him. A lot of people can't trade Patrick Williams. You don't know what he's going to be. He could be the next Kawhi Leonard. Well, he's not right now. And if that happens, fine. It's fine. But get Christian Wood. I was even okay with getting Rudy Gobert because I wanted low post defense, someone who could guard Giannis Antetokounmpo. Patrick Williams is 6'7". He's not going to guard Antetokounmpo. He's not going to guard Kevin Durant at 6'11". He's not going to guard who's the other one. There's a third one in the East. I'm probably forgetting, but he's not going to
Joel Embiid.
That could be Vooch, but Vooch can't guard him either. So you need somebody who can guard those guys. In that, do you know Joel Embiid? When he plays for the Sixers, the Bulls have never beat the Sixers. The Bulls have never beat the Sixers when Joel Embiid is on the court. You know why? Because Joel Embiid is a beast, and you need somebody to at least contain him. You're not going to stop him. You can only hope to contain him. And that's not Patrick Williams at 6'7". So the underrated trade is going to be Christian Wood going to Dallas. That is going to be fantastic for them. So, the Bulls are – it's going to be if – I guess we really are just going to have to wait and see if Lonzo comes back. If Lonzo cannot come back, you're right, Coach. They are going to be a play-in team because Cleveland got better getting Mitchell. Detroit's better. The Knicks could surprise people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the most things last year that the Bulls had trouble with, they got embarrassed a lot by playoff teams that was in the upper line. If you want to get anywhere in this league, you're going to have to learn how to beat some of these top contender teams as well. Because when they played Boston or Milwaukee, they got, absolutely destroyed. They showed no resistance on the defensive side of the ball, and that's what Lonzo Ball coming in at as well. So, again, they got to better beat some of these upper line playoff teams or teams likely. They got to better beat some of them if they want to be playoff worthy. I think they have enough though to get into the playoffs, but in the long run, I just don't think they're gonna be no more than a second round team unless they get the right matchup, I believe. But again, Lonzo Ball, they're gonna need him in the long run. They're gonna definitely need him in the long run.
You got Kanye is in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, Key? How's everything going, fellas?
What's good, Kyle?
What's up?
Go ahead, AJ, finish your
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Coach's point. I think it was 3 consecutive Fridays on ESPN where the Bulls just get smoked by the Nets.
I know one of them was. I know one of them was.
I gotta get better.
It was just insane, and it was on national TV too.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, Con. So we was talking about Lonzo Ball and the Bulls. Lonzo, the saying, he's having trouble still walking up steps, can't jump with that knee injury. Is it going to hurt the Bulls without having Lonzo?
Absolutely. He added so much to the Bulls. He added some excitement. As you know, the Bulls have been in a downward spiral for years and years, and I think he added so much excitement and I think added to the concept of the team, and not having him there in his leadership and presence is going to make a major factor. And I don't know how they're going to replace him. And to answer your question, his loss is going to make a major impact on the Bulls.
All right, well, there you have it. No, Lonzo definitely was. I mean, hopefully y'all get Caruso back. He stays healthy.
Oh, that will help. That will help. That will help.
Because Caruso is good on the defensive end too, and he can heat up when he if his shots are falling, he definitely can heat up and hurt you on the offensive side. Now, speaking of players that's on injury, we all know there were some players last year who didn't play. So my question to y'all is, which player coming off injury are y'all looking to see?
Kawhi Leonard. That's got to be right. They traded for John Wall. Paul George is still there. So with them two, if Kawhi Leonard comes back healthy, the Clippers are going to be a something to deal with out there in the Western Conference, which is already, with the Warriors and the Lakers and the Suns. Man, I think without question, Kawhi Leonard coming back to that team. I cannot wait to see if those three can gel together. If Wall, George, and Leonard can gel together and become something, take over the team of LA from the Lakers.
I'm gonna say Zion Williamson.
Took my heat.
I'm gonna say him. I would really like to see him in New Orleans. What he's gonna do now? CJ McCollum is a huge factor that they got in the trade last year for Portland, who helped them get in the actual playoff. So Brandon Ingram, who's emerged as an all-star. You got Herbert Jones, a rookie that made second team all defensive rookie team. You got Murphy that can shoot the ball on the outside. And you got this tough little guy in Alvarado who gets on everybody's nerves, every point guard nerves, who's tough, who's greedy. And you got Zion Williamson back. If he comes back himself, just think about what New Orleans could be. But like I said again, I mean, I think it's still so many teams that are better than New Orleans that I will take over New Orleans. But I think they can be fighting between that 6th seed. I think they can fight for that 6th seed if everybody's healthy and Zion is healthy. And Coach Willie Green, you got to give him credit. Willie Green has done a fantastic job last year with that basketball team last year. So I got to give credit to the coach, Willie Green. But at the same time, I think they're going to be fighting for that play-in tournament, or they're going to be fighting between that 6th and 7th seed. I'm going to give them between that 6th and 17 play-in tournament. I just think it's 7 teams or 16, 5 more teams, 6 teams that are possibly better than those guys. But I'm going to go with Zion and New Orleans.
Con, who you got?
Well, something. I think Coach must be watching some of my shows. I think, you know what I mean? Because I think he's like copying me, man. I don't know what's going on with Coach. Love Coach, man, but something, he's right. New Orleans is the team to beat. Just watch out for Zion. He done lost 30 pounds. He looks physically fit, healthy. Ingram, McCollum, they have a great core of players coming off the bench. Great coach. I think they're going to make a difference in the Western Conference. I think Zion is going to get comeback player of the year. I am rooting for him as all the adversity he has gone through, but he's still a young pup. And now he learn how to, take care of his body, take care of himself. New Orleans is going to be the team to beat. Watch out for New Orleans. Y'all heard it here. Well, Coach said it before me, but y'all heard it here.
Yep, and I also agree with the Clippers too, because again, that team is healthy with Kawhi Leonard. They could be a borderline contender if that team is healthy with Kawhi Leonard. But the team is never healthy. That's the problem. The team is actually never healthy. And Kawhi Leonard always goes down when it matters. So if that team can put it together and be healthy, they're a borderline contender. They're actually a borderline contender.
I agree.
I can't believe I'm about to actually say this person's name and Freddie not here. I'm going to have to say Anthony Davis. He says that Anthony Davis claims that he's going to play all 82 games. Well, I want to see this. I definitely want to see you play all 82 games. If Anthony
Uh,
Davis can play all 82, the Lakers, yes, will be that team to beat. If AD is healthy, the key word is healthy in that mix. So I need to see this dominant Anthony Davis that the Lakers traded their whole house for to get.
Hey, I can
yeah.
ask everybody a question. Is there this year? Is there an excuse for the Lakers this year?
No,
Okay,
no.
I knew what to do.
Hey, no, Pat Bev coming on. Kendrick Nunn, as y'all know, he got paid to even play a whole game, not one game last year. I think he's going to add depth to the team as well. I think the Lakers have a. I know Freddie's going to be all happy, but I don't care. Lakers going to be a team to deal with. Like he said, if AD comes and plays 70 games and he's healthy, I think he's going to make an impact. I think the Lakers going to be strong. I like the concept of the team. I like the makeup of the team. I think they added some defensive depth. I think they added some offensive depth as well. I think they're going to be a team to deal with. And let me tell y'all something. You really think LeBron's going to go like that, like he did last year? Ain't going to happen. He's going to break the record this year, and they're going to make the playoffs. And they may get by the first, second round.
Well,
Now, if AD's healthy, it could go further.
yeah. Listen, I think we know the talent that they have is there.
Yep.
One, we need to see if they are going to play together, because when Russ, Braun, and Davis did play together, it was still not the right mix. So they need to find the right mix of those guys and figure out when they can play and how they play with each other. So that's number one. And number two is the health. Can Anthony Davis stay healthy? Can LeBron stay healthy? Russ really hasn't had injury concerns, but you're going to need him to stay healthy, So it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that needs to go into that. As for like is there any excuse? Well, I think there's always an isn't it? It's always an excuse. Anything can be an excuse. But for me, I still think, even with all that said, I think the Lakers. I need to see it first. Right now, I would say the Lakers are the fourth best team. I'm still going to take the Warriors. I'm still going to take Phoenix. I'm going to take the Clippers with a healthy Kawhi over the Lakers. But like I mentioned about the NFL, you get in the tournament and anything can happen. And for all his injury concerns, Anthony Davis is a special talent. And we've seen when the Lakers won the championship, he was a dominant force in that, in that bubble playoff.
I felt correct. Check one thing, Coach, before you. I know you're going to take my shine again. Let me tell you something real quick.
I always said that Russell Westbrook plays better without superstars. He plays much, much better without superstars. You look at the games that he played without LeBron James last year. You look at the Charlotte game that he took over and they almost won. They lost it by 2. You look at other games when he played without LeBron James. Russell Westbrook plays more better without superstars. Or he can play with one. He can play with just one superstar. No, and I just feel like him having a ball out of his hands and having to defer with LeBron James, I just feel like that's not Russell Westbrook's game. That's not what he wants to do. So we're just going to have to see how it works, man. And right now, last year, it just did not work. A lot of turmoil going on. His beef with Patrick Beverley, but like I say, we're gonna see if they got that cleaned up or not. Patrick Beverley is a difference maker. So like I said, he's one of those type of players that you love playing with him, you hate just playing against him. And again, Minnesota, he came into Minnesota. They immediately was a playoff team, and you see how much he meant to that Minnesota organization and for them on the court. So again, Patrick Beverley could be a difference maker. He's going to also hold you accountable on the defensive side of the ball. Nobody will play hard much as that dude on defense. That dude can go all day. He don't care. He can go all day. And you need someone like that to come on the floor and just get up underneath your skin and just piss you off. You need someone like that.
Yeah, Westbrook can't be he don't want to be the third and fourth option. Just look how he was in Washington with Bradley Beal. It was Bradley Beal, it was Westbrook. I mean, he couldn't really do that in Houston because you all know James Harden was that guy. But he did change the pace When James Harden was in there, we all know the ISO ball. Step back three. That's all James Harden did. When Westbrook got into the game in Houston, the whole pace changed. He pushed up the ball. He attacked the rim. So Russell Westbrook, and I agree with Kyle there. His he needs his freedom to get to the rim, which I do agree. So for him having a LeBron James and an Anthony Davis there, again, just like I said with my Sixers and Tobias Harris, got to find a role. Westbrook got to find his role in this offense. And, Darwin Ham expressed they're going to be defensive this year. So we'll definitely see how they are defense. We all know Westbrook, he can play defense sometimes. But most definitely. So we got, what was the most underrated move this offseason?
In an NBA?
Yep.
Well, for me, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was Wood going from the Rockets to the Mavericks. I just think that is going to be something that Luka Doncic is going to love having, because Wood can play down low, he can step out and shoot the three, and defensively he is going to do damage there as well. So I really think that is going to be a fantastic one. Another one you need to look at, Malcolm Brogdon going from the Pacers to the Celtics. That's a good one too.
Yep.
Coach, you got?
Go ahead, Coach.
Oh, this is gonna be an interesting right here. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go with Jadante Murray with the Hawks.
Damn, you keep falling.
Hey, I got it. I already know.
No, Coach, man, I can't know. I can't do this.
You got Malcolm Brogdon. I already had it in my head. I already had it purchased in my head. If I couldn't get that one, then I had already another one. So again, Jadante Murray is gonna take a lot of pressure off Trae Young. He's a 20-point per game scorer. Again, he's another great defender. If the Bulls could have found a way to get him, this dude is a stud. This dude is a stud, man. This dude can get you 20 points per game. He's also an improved 3-point shooter, and he can take the ball out of Trae Young's hand. Trae Young doesn't have to do it all. He's also a dynamic playmaker. He averages 8 assists, by 7 assists a game. He can rebound, and he can play on the perimeter on the defense. When Trae Young is on the bench, he can give Trae Young much rest as he could, because he can be in the game filling it up with DeAndre Hunter, with Clint Capella. He can run that pick and roll. He can do multiple things, man. So again, with him and Trae Young on the floor, that's going to make Trae Young play off the ball a lot and come off screens and shoot the basketball a lot. So they both going to be able to play well without each other. With each other. So, I believe this is a great pick. Get now, I'm not saying Trae Young is not a true point guard, but this is an actually point guard that can defend, do everything. And his only real weakness is his shot consistency. That's his only real weakness right there. But other than that, he knows how to play, bro. This dude can play defense. And I done watched him piss James Harden off many times in San Antonio. I done watched him piss them off. And I say this guy know how to play defense, and this guy is really, really good and something special, man. So you had another 20 points in that lineup, 19 points, 8 assists guy in that lineup that know how to play that pick and roll and give Trae Young a breather when he's up out of that, but also has the ability to take Trae Young off of the ball and get buckets at the same time. That's going to be dynamic. So again, man, Jadante Murray, I really like that move.
What you got, Con? Since
Well, he done took my shine, so I'm gonna have to go playing Pete. I'm gonna go with Brogdon. With all the situation that's going on with the Celtics, and best believe there's a lot more coming out. So they need some stability. They need some structure. They need to establish the culture. The new assigned head coach is from out my way, out here in Massachusetts. He's from Warwick, Rhode Island. I know the family. I've done played against his family. I know him. A good dude. The players like him. They respect him. But I think Brogdon's they're going to need Marcus Smart, Horford, the crew to, come together as a group, because they done lost a coach who, inspired them and made them play a lot, more of a defensive method. So since my boy the coach took my shine, I'm gonna go with Brogdon. I think he's gonna add some offense, he's gonna add some defense, he's gonna add some structure, he's gonna add some leadership. And I think right now with the Celtics having a new coach who really has never coached an NBA game in his life, they're gonna need that support from the team itself. And I think that Malcolm Brogdon, if he stays healthy, I mean, that boy is nice. I think he can get about 20, 22, 23 points a game, solidify the offense, solidify the defense. I think the Celtics are going to be good. At the end of the season, if I'm correct, they have the best defensive team in the league. So if they can establish and keep that going on and, pull together, sometimes adversity brings prosperity. So I think that, I think with them going through what they're going through right now, I think it's going to be beneficial for them because they got to pull together. They can't have that whine and, that BS. They're going to come together. I think Brown and Tatum realize what they got to do. Everybody got to step up. And Brogdon's going to be the key factor in that team. And when Williams comes back, oh, Lord, it's going to be off to the...
I'm going to say Donovan Mitchell because I sure enough ain't see him.
Oh, right.
Donovan Mitchell. I don't know how the Knicks didn't get in the sweepstakes to get Donovan Mitchell. Even Donovan Mitchell said it himself. I thought I was going to New York. And nope. But him going over there to play with Garland and Jared Allen and those guys over there, Mobley, yeah. So it was definitely Donovan Mitchell for me.
Hey, Key, I got one more thing to say before we go to the next topic. Comment. When you said something about leadership, and this is what made me come to this one right here. You remember when Boston was struggling at the beginning of the season last year? At the way beginning of the season, when they was failing to put it together, and everybody saying they were the most disappointed team of the season of that year. And you guess what woke them up? And this is going to play a big factor. Marcus Smart called out the team, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That's what woke them up right there. When you call out your teammates and the team, sometimes if you're playing so goddamn bad, you have to do that. He called them out. Not only he didn't call them out in private, he called them out through the media. And that's one of the worst things to call a coach or a team out and let the media hear it. And it's going to go through national TV. When he did that straightened up the whole team right there when he actually did that. So like you said, Marcus Smart is going to have to be that leader for them. It's going to have to be that Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors.
Yes.
If he can do that, then this team is on another level. That's what straightened up the team last year, that call out in the media right now.
Yep. I agree.
All right, so we got DeAndre Ayton. We all know DeAndre Ayton signed that extension.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Indiana, I thought he was going to Indy, and Phoenix was like, nope, we're going to match you. So he signed it. But come to find out, he hasn't talked to Monty Williams since Game 7 in the finals. And then his whole demeanor in the press conference, he act like he don't want to be there. So did is he thinking he made the wrong move of re-signing? Or it's just that's just how he is. We don't know what the whole thing is with that.
Want me to go first? I'll go.
Go ahead.
DeAndre, I mean, the man has, if you notice, he was like high on the pedestal until Giannis smashed him. We all know that. And that's why they didn't give him his contract that he wanted. He finally got the bag. I think he's a major factor for the Suns, given the fact of what the Suns are going through as far as ownership is concerned and all that crazy stuff that's going on. I think that he is an important factor. He's young, too. He's young. And if the Suns can surround him with some young players, Chris Paul is the man, but he's like 108 years old. But if they can surround themselves with some young players, I think they're going to be a great team to deal with. Booker's, going into his prime. But as far as A is concerned, he got his bag. Now he got to prove it. He got to play the best against the best. Giannis kind of destroyed him, kind of, depressed him a little bit. He got to come ready now. And as I said, adversity brings prosperity. How much you go through and how much you want to go through. If you look at, I'm not going to go into my historical perspective. All the NBA teams, damn near everyone, they had to go through the pain. Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan lost 9 years in a row. Isaiah Thomas, Detroit Pistons, they lost to the Celtics. Celtics lost to the Lakers. Lakers lost to the Celtics. So my point being is teams have to learn how to win. Right now, those teams learn how to lose. And the Phoenix Suns, they have learned how to lose. They need to learn how to win. So Aiden, he got his bag. Let's see what he's going to do this year.
I find it very interesting that he did not speak to Monty Williams since he was benched in Game 7.
Oh yeah.
I find that interesting because I think that makes me think that he wanted to go. But unfortunately, he was a restricted free agent. So any offer that he got, the Suns can match, and they matched it. So now he's back in the Suns. So he's there, and it looks like he's probably not going anywhere. He can't be traded until mid-February, I believe, because of that rule that they have. Where when you sign somewhere, it takes a long time before you can be traded. So he's gonna have to make the best of it, at least for half the season. So that's gonna be something to be on the lookout for. Is there something there? Is there something there that is going to affect the team in a negative way? Is it going to bring down the morale of the team? Is he not going to play as hard because he doesn't want to be there? All those things are in play for the Suns. But like I said, I still think the Suns are still a very good, talented team. I have them in the upper echelon. I forgot to mention Memphis Grizzlies earlier as well. The Memphis Grizzlies they're still going to be there in the West Conference as well. So, but I think for Aiden, it's just about finding a way. If you are not happy in Phoenix, then under the radar, find your way to get out. You got to play this year again at least until like half the season when that rule is up. So, once you do that, maybe you can ask for a trade. And with everything that's going out in management with the owner, now going to sell the team and the stuff with him and everything like that, this could be a total bust of a season for the Suns. And it is up to Monty Williams, who is a very good coach, to keep everything intact. Because I do think they are going to face some adversity, not only on the court, but off of it as well.
Dante?
Like I said, I don't think much of the press conference too much, but like I said, I just got to see it on the floor. Absolutely. The Phoenix Suns, they brought him back, so they gotta feel like some confidence. They didn't want to lose him at all. He's a big key to their offense. There's also certain things and certain plays that happened in the playoffs that Chris Paul, he wasn't getting the ball enough. He wasn't getting the ball enough and getting many opportunities. Well, if you get out there, you fight hard, you play defense, maybe you do get the ball enough. Maybe if you give effort all 4 quarters and not a first half, maybe you do get more touches. But at the end of the day, he's been getting killed by elite centers. He gets killed by elite centers. He gets overwhelmed by elite centers. So that's another thing that can mess up your confidence. And like I say, if you want that bag, like how you got to prove that you can go against some of the big dogs up in the league. You got to prove that you can go up against some elite centers. When they fire at you, you got to prove you can go right back at them. You can't get most of your plays on just pick and roll and knowing Chris Paul is going to set you up. You got to be able to make a play for your damn self sometime. These guys like a Joel Embiid and Giannis that's coming at you, they can make plays on their own self. They can make plays on their own. So if you want to prove that you can be the best in this league, you got to make plays. You got to make plays for your own self. But I know that's what the offense is. So I'm going to bash him too much because Chris Paul is one of.
Oh, Coach, did he freeze again?
Hey, Coach froze again. Well, let me help him out a little bit. He's right, but the thing is, Aiden, like a lot of the Embiid and Jokic and all these guys, they learn how to adapt with the pick and pop, pick and roll, pick and pop. They know how to shoot the perimeter shot, which expands the offense, which is more space for penetration and things of that nature. So I think that if he can develop, and some players can develop, if he puts the time and effort to develop, I mean, just to be respected, because he's all in the paint. If he can be respected to bring the defense out, to expand the defense so the offense can operate in a more cohesive and with space. Because let me tell y'all something real quick. Offenses move when there's space. It's about getting space. And now with him spending so much time in the paint, it kind of detracts from their space. Now, if you have someone who can, like Embiid, Jokic, them guys, they all bring the defense up. The key is you bring the defense out, and you can minimize the problem of being able to penetrate. Because when you have 8 in the paint, why do you think Houston got rid of Capella? Because he manned the paint. As soon as they got rid of him, they expanded their offense, developed more space, and they developed a little bit better. I mean, they didn't go away, but that's why they got rid of Capella. The key to NBA today is about spacing, penetration, hitting the perimeter shot, adjusting to whatever the defense is playing. But I think that, the NBA, the way it is right now, I'm so happy with the fact that the NBA is going to be fantastic this year. I'm so excited to see the NBA. There's so much parity in the league. The rookies are coming in are great. There's so much potential. I think I'm looking forward to the NBA, and I'm pumped. So that's my narrative.
All right. So James Harden says he is back to being an MVP form. He said he lost weight. He said if he conditions his body right, he knows his IQ, his mind, his skill set, and he put in the work. Do you think James Harden is back to being MVP level?
I'll fall back on this one. You go ahead. I'll fall back on this one.
I don't think so.
I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. I think his time has passed. I think he was traded to the Nets. I think we started to see the decline of James Harden. It's a little by little. So I don't think I think he'll still be a good player. He'll still be an all-star. He can be all of that. But I don't think his time of being an MVP candidate. Sorry about that. I think it's not right. It just isn't the right time for him.
Yeah, I think, like I said, the last great James Harden was in Houston. That's the last great James Harden. I still think he can average 20 and 9 assists and 8 rebounds. I still think he can do that at a high level. I don't think MVP is him no more. I think Joel Embiid is going to take away some of those votes as well by him being the number one option. But I still think he's going to be productive. You don't need him to be an MVP. You don't need him to be in an MVP discussion. You need him to be that 24 through 23 and 10 guy. You don't need him to be an MVP. But I think when he was with Brooklyn and him seeing Kevin Durant hurt, him seeing Kyrie Irving playing part-time and all of that, I think that really hampered him a little bit, and that hamstring injury that he had set him back a little bit. I just think he got tired of taking the number one role, and seeing both Kevin Durant and Kyrie hurt, that really set him apart. Him not being in shape as well and having that hamstring injury twice during that season too. Yeah, that really kind of hampered some of his athleticism, and he just can't be the number one guy no more like he used to be in Houston. But I still think, like AJ said, he's going to be an all-star. He's going to be an all-star. He's definitely going to be that, but I don't think he's going to be MVP. But again, he's still going to be able to score at a high level, just not MVP. I think Joel Embiid is going to take away those MVP, him being in the MVP discussion as well. So again, he's still going to be a great player. He's still going to be a great player.
If I can interject, let me tell you something real quick. NBA players, they basically have expired time, most. And you got guys who like handle the ball, who are shooters. Their playing time has been minimized. They may be able to play 10, 9 years. So the key is how they adapt to when they get older. Harden came in this year in better shape because he got something to prove. Okay. Kyrie Irving got something to prove. These guys have got something to prove. I think Harden's going to come back in great shape. And, it's Westbrook. I'm telling y'all right quick. I know you may hang up on me. Westbrook is going to have a great year because he's going to adapt. After 10, 12, you don't have the same skills. You need to develop and adapt to the skills that you do have to benefit the team. I think Harden knows, okay, I've done average 30 points, 34, whatever. I got Embiid. Let me make him better. Let me make my teammates better. I think Westbrook is going to do the same thing. Oh, he got a hot head. I'm telling y'all, Westbrook, new team, new coach. He's going to adapt to the system. He's going to be a major factor. Just watch. Westbrook's going to be all right. Harden's going to be, I think he's going to be a major factor. Does he get a score 30? No. But what he can do is keep the defense honest. He can distribute the ball. As we know, he's a great assist person, one of the best passers in the NBA. He can still hit that perimeter shot, and he's in shape. He didn't come in shape when he went to Brooklyn. We all know that. He was out of shape when he was at Houston, and still was averaging 27. So I think he's going to be a major factor for Philly, and he's going to bring Maxey along. He's going to bring the team along. I think they're going to be a very good. Embiid is more determined than ever. I think that Harden is going to be someone to deal with. I think, something, when you keep getting blasted by social media, they hear it. They know what's going to happen. Why do you think Westbrook came in the shape that he came in this year? Why do you think Harden came in the shape he came in? Why do you think Zion came in the shape he came in? Because they hear everything. They know what's going on. And most of them are in the contract year. So I just think that Harden is going to be a major factor. He ain't going to average no 28, 29, 20, 22, but 8, 9 assists. Hopefully not as many turnovers. And he's a great, and the key is great foul shooter. He can shoot free throws. That's a major factor, y'all. Check it out.
See, free for a reason. I was just watching a video that Mike Brown got the Kings down there shooting free throws. If you miss it, the whole team got to run. Shoot, I teach that's what I do with my kids, my 7 and 8 year olds in basketball. Y'all miss a free throw up, everybody running. I bet y'all gonna make
exactly. See.
So it's good to see Mike Brown instilling that. Oh, y'all want to make free throws? Everybody run. So, I mean, you don't see that in the pros too much. So which rookie's going to shine this year?
There's going to be a
y'all
lot.
Want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
I think. I think the big one is the guy Pablo. Yeah, I think that's going to be the big one. But I'm expecting all of these rookies to shine, and I think it's going to be real interesting to see how the time that they get. The reason why I mentioned Pablo in Orlando is I just think that team, there's something down there that interests me about the Orlando Magic. I mean, the talent that they have down there that they have acquired. It's very interesting, and it just feels like that this is almost, they're going to be the Cleveland of this year. They're going to start making that, that noise in the Eastern Conference. So I love what the Orlando Magic has done, and that's why I think our good friend Pablo is going to be the one down there in Orlando.
All right, Coach, go ahead.
I got Jaden Ivey for Detroit. I got Jaden Ivey. I think,
nice.
Jaden Ivey was the best athletic point guard in the draft. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to bring a lot. Him and Cade Cunningham. Is going to be a dynamic duo in that backcourt. And Jaden Ivey is explosive. You watch this dude play at Purdue, man. That dude is very explosive, fast. He's got to improve on his shot a little bit. If he can come out and shoot at least 35, 34%, he will be an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. That Piston team, they got something going on. Adding Jalen Duren, too, another one from out of Memphis. I think they got something special. Along with Sadiq Bey, that's out of Villanova, who had a very great year last year. I think that's something special.
Coach, I agree with you. Again, unfortunately, I agree with you. You know what I mean? But I think Detroit, like I said, the NBA right now with the parity that's going on in the NBA is fantastic. But here, I'm gonna hit you off with something real quick. Last year, I mean, I wasn't part of the network. I didn't really know Key. I didn't know none of you. But I said someone from the G League is gonna come out and shine. And guess what? Two out of what the top 5 picks were from the G League. Watch it this year. There's gonna be someone coming from the G League. I don't care about the #1 pick no more. Watch out for the G League. Look at Green from Houston. I can go on and on. So watch out for someone coming out the G League. It's going to make an impact, and one of them will be the Rookie of the Year. You heard it here. You heard it here.
What y'all think about D'Angelo Ball getting signed with the Hornets?
It's
The middle ball, brother.
I get that.
yeah, we're just waiting to see because I think I was seeing this somewhere else. It's Lonzo is become a pretty good NBA player. Middle ball seems to be an emerging star, and like.
Oh, now AJ froze.
Everybody froze except the con man.
Go ahead, Dante. I'll let you go into
Don't think much of it. He just got to go out on the court and play. I mean, he had some opportunities. And stuff like that, and it never kind of worked it. Everybody knew that Lonzo Ball and LaMelo was going to make it to the NBA, but everybody knows LaMelo is going to be probably the best Ball brother to come out, and it's proven so far that he is. Then LiAngelo, everybody was on the downside of him, and he's proven not to be so much better than both of those two combined. So again, we just gonna have to wait and see. I don't take too much of the Charlotte. We just gonna have to wait and see. That's just a wait and see for me.
What I like to say, he and Coach, is that sometimes the road is tougher for players to follow. You look at Patty Mills. Look what he had to go through. A lot of players had to go through thick and thin to get to the NBA, and sometimes they have to go through a learning process. I think his brothers have obviously exceeded their talent more than he has, but through hard work, I think he can be a competent NBA player. Do I think he's as good as his brothers? I don't think so. But sometimes you got to go through the rough seas in order to see the light. And sometimes a lot of people have gone through a lot. Y'all, we can name names. We all know names that have played in the G League overseas and come back to the NBA and been an effective player in the NBA. So I'm not going to put him down yet because, something, me being old school that I am and historian that I am, I almost made it. I didn't make it. I know how hard it is to make it. So I give respect. You'll never hear me talk bad about a player. You may hear me say made a bad decision or they made a bad move, but not 1% of players make it to the NBA. So and then with the G League now, and then European League, you got European players coming over. You know how hard it is to make the NBA. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. He got the right people behind him. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think it's gonna happen soon. He's got a non-guaranteed contract. He may go two-way, but I'm not gonna. Hey, I am not gonna put the brother down because you never know.
All right. So what team are you guys excited to watch?
Key, man, you coming tough this morning, man. Key's coming tough this morning. Go ahead, Coach.
I'm excited to watch Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm excited to watch them. Excited to watch those guys. Jared Allen, Karis LeVert when he's on the floor. Donovan Mitchell, of course, they got a great Isaac Okoro. I'm excited to watch those group of guys, and especially, like I said, I gotta thank Coach JB Bickerstaff, man. He's doing a very good job, man. I got him.
Yeah.
JB Bickerstaff penciled in as Coach of the Year. As my pick for Coach of the Year. I think this Cleveland team is gonna be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think they got the talent. Not saying they're gonna get out the first round. I think they can be competitive, but again, so I'm looking for Cleveland, man. I can't wait to watch them guys play. And
Coach,
Donovan Mitchell lead this team to.
I gotta agree with you. I think Cleveland is on the right track. Coach Bickerstaff, I became kind of good friends with his dad. I don't know if y'all remember his dad. He's Coach Bullets and all that. So I became good friends with his dad. So I'm happy for his success. I think Cleveland is got. You can remember they got a small salary cap right now. They're not paying that much money. They got a contingent. They got a group of young players who are going to strive and be better. Again, they got to learn how to win. Once they get to that level, they got you. And right now, they ain't got to pay the bag yet. There are too many people. Donovan Mitchell, of course, he got the bag. But other than that, you think they got 3-4 years down the road, 2-3 years, maybe even next year. Team's going to be a team to deal with. But fellas, I got to go with New Orleans. Got to go with New Orleans.
Yeah.
Have to go with Zion, Ingram, McCollum. I think they're up and coming. I think they're hungry. I think they're going to be one of the most exciting teams to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing them as well as Cleveland. And, of course, yeah, got to watch out for Memphis because, you know, that guy ain't no joke. So I'm looking forward to see Memphis, New Orleans, and Cleveland.
So Kyle, so AJ, what team are you excited to watch?
Without question, I think it's Cleveland. The acquisition of Donovan Mitchell there is going to be huge, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Darius Garland running side to side. They're kind of a small backcourt, but I can't really wait to see what they do. And then Evan Mobley, and then Jared Allen. So it's really to see what Cleveland does. I'm really excited to see what they do and how good they're going to look and be. And I think for a like it's called, but just off on the side glance, I also want to see like what Utah is. I want to see what they are. Like how bad are they going to be? You know, that's what I'm kind of, you know, there's a kind of a don't want to say hate watch because I'm not going to be hating it, but I just want to see how they do since they've given up everything. You know, the Rudy Gobert and the other and Donovan Mitchell, and then they just traded Bogdanovic to Detroit, so that's going to be a good I want to see as well.
I'm gonna say Detroit, just with all those moves that they got, and one of the best guys they picked up, like Dante always says, one of the best guys they got in the draft, and Jaden Ivey. They got Jaren Duren over there as well. Sadiq Bey. You know, that's y'all know I love my Nova guys, so he's from Villanova. I just want to see what Detroit does with all these upgrades. I'm not saying they'll get to the playoffs, but give them a couple years. I think they'd be in playoff contention.
You know something? Danny Ainge is no joke. That dude knows what he's doing. Yeah. He got enough picks. He gonna make it work. Danny, hey, why do you think he left the Celtics to go to Utah? The method to the madness. Gotta watch out for Danny Ainge.
Hey, I trust if it's any gym in the league, I would trust Danny Ainge because remember he threw it down before. He threw it down before and was able to get Tatum them. So again, you can trust him, and I believe he can get another move going. I believe.
Absolutely.
I believe Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson. I believe they next. I believe they next. And he got a first round pick from Bogey. He got a first round pick out of him. And like I said, again, he's collecting them. I believe he knows what he knows what he's doing. If anybody know how to rebuild, it's him. He know how to rebuild it. A team.
Yep, Danny Ainge will blow you up and start you all over.
Yep.
Because he did it before. He seen it in Boston with the whole Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Got rid of them, got them out of here. You know, brought in new guys, but no, most definitely. But we gonna end things here. You know, we did have another fantastic show. Comment, appreciate you coming on this morning. Talking to
Keith, man, thank you for inviting me, man. Hey, I love the crew. You guys are great. Thank you for inviting me. I'll be on anytime y'all want.
Most definitely, you know, AJ, again, you're always welcome up here. Always know, Coach, It's the hardest working man here on the Spotlight Sports Network. But make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Again, we're on the spot. We're on Sports Empire Network as well, simulcasting the show over there. So make sure y'all show them some love. Y'all had not subscribed. The link is in the description. And again, the Spotlight Sports Network is teamed up with Fanatics. The link is in the description. The NBA is right around the corner. So get your NBA gear ready. The NFL merch is there. And also SeatGeek for all of your concerts and entertainment and sporting events. All you gotta do is put in a promo code Spotlight Sports Network. Save $20 off of your first order. Y'all got anything to say before we roll out of here on this Wednesday afternoon?
Another great show. Another great morning show.
Awesome.
Hey, ready for many more.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me once again.
I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow. Might talk some MLB. God, I don't want to talk MLB.
We gonna talk Phillies, huh?
Okay.
About MLB. So we might talk about MLB and some other stuff tomorrow, or whatever news that breaks. But we're going to sign out of here, guys, and everyone enjoy the rest of the day. And again, if you're gonna do this, don't do nothing I wouldn't do. But if you're gonna do it, just make sure you do it safely. And we on out here. We see y'all in another live stream.
Thank y'all. Have a great day, y'all.